Good afternoon, and this is EBTV Channel 3. We're at East Brunswick High School this afternoon to see a girls volleyball game. The girls volleyball season is obviously in the fall. I'm standing here next to a famous coach who was instrumental in the success that East Brunswick's had, not only in girls but also winning those state championships in boys, Scott Arnauer. Scott, what are you doing these days?
I'm currently an assistant principal at a middle school in Cherry Hill, and I don't think there's a day go by that I don't think about boys and girls volleyball.
Well, you certainly put East Brunswick on the map, and we've had some great coaches here for the girls teams. In addition to yourself, Greg Lutz has done a nice job here. Lisa Scarano before that. We really have had a successful program, not only with the boys, which you're probably more familiar with, but the girls have had an outstanding team as well. I know this year they're currently at 12-4 with some outstanding wins over Westfield and Cranford and Bridgewater. So what do we look for today with the girls?
Well, something that I think East Brunswick's looking for is to convert all the free balls that they're going to get and look really sharp. JP Stevens is a first-year team, and they've competed relatively well against the other first-year teams, and they've beaten Piscataway twice. However, today they're going to be playing a team that really has a tradition of winning and a high level of play. So I think for JP Stevens, they want to do the fundamentals right, and for East Brunswick, they want to convert on all free balls and look really sharp.
Okay, players for East Brunswick that we look for. I read the papers, and of course, Maura Kirby, I know. She is involved here in the wintertime with that round ball, and a pretty darn good basketball player. I see her with a lot of kills, and that's very much a part of this team.
Moore is one of the strongest players on the team. In fact, she was practicing with the varsity as a freshman, and she started varsity as a sophomore. So she's actually the most successful girl that's ever played on the girls volleyball team in East Brunswick. She saw time as a freshman. Other names to look for are that whole senior group of Amanda Cafaro, Nadia Aldersheen is real strong, Lauren Corrado, and Dallas Burns. And we'll see how they do today, but I really think that Moore is going to have a nice game today against a team that really hasn't seen anybody play at her level.
Right. Now, is this a conference game? Does Greater Middlesex Conference have a league, official league for girls?
They've had an official league since they came over from the spring to the fall, and with newcomers Piscataway and JP, they're really developing into a Greater Middlesex Conference. I believe that Hunterdon Central is still part of that league, and they're undefeated in that league or conference. But as far as the GMC goes, eventually it'll be solidified, and East Brunswick will be one of the teams to beat.
Okay. You mentioned Hunterdon Central. I don't know if we should delve into that or not. Coach Lutz kind of said, well, Hunterdon Central's pretty good. Yes. I know two of the losses that East Brunswick has suffered this year has been the hands of Hunterdon Central. One, I believe it was late last week, was the last time. He wasn't real happy about that. I guess we also suffered a loss to Old Bridge. I know Coach was not satisfied with that performance, but overall 12-4 is very competitive.
Yeah, I think Coach Rutz is happy with the year so far, and what really matters is the very end of the season. So we'll see how it wraps up. They got about 10 games left.
Great, and we'll be right back for the start of today's match. Okay, we're back in action here, getting ready for the start of the girls volleyball game, East Brunswick versus JP Stevens. Let me quickly try to run down the lineup for East Brunswick, starting number 15, Lauren Corrado, number 6, Amanda Cofone, number 7, Dallas Burns, number 9, Nadia Aldochin, number 27, Maura Kirby, and number 30, Michelle Anderson. We'll try to pick up those numbers for JP Stevens. We're going to start with number 30, Michelle Anderson, serving for the Bears. Serve is over.
Nice deep serve from Michelle Anderson. Gets the Bears on the board early.
You're reminded that you can score. You only score when your team is serving the ball. Michelle again serving. Ceiling's in play.
Yes, they can play it off the ceiling, and they did. First free ball opportunity. They set
Maura
middle.
Kirby. Oop.
Nice up.
Back.
A lift on J.P. Stevens there, but I have to say right off the bat, Mora had a nice attempt, and number 1 in the back row, Christine Pham, made a nice dig. Michelle Anderson again to serve.
And Maura Kirby with 88 kills this year. She can put that ball away.
Another free ball here. This is what we talked about with the coach. These are free opportunities for East Brunswick to make a kill. And Lauren Corrado makes just that.
Very good.
The problem with J.P. Stevens is every time they give a free ball or a ball back to East Brunswick that is not attacked in an overhand hit, it's called a free ball, and East Brunswick will capitalize.
Serve. Up. Third hit. You don't want to hit that with one hand, do you, Coach?
No, for me, if it's not a good attempt, I would just put it over and play some defense. But if you notice Michelle Anderson's serve, it's so good because it goes in a straight line. Mm-hmm. That one has a little bit of arc to it.
Arc off number 10 for Chelsea McCauley for J.P. Stevens.
J.P. gets a quick timeout here for J.P. Stevens.
East Brunswick up 5-0. We remind you that J.P. Stevens is a first-year team, and East Brunswick's been at it. This is our 9th season, and the Bears have been highly competitive each year since beginning the program, and certainly this year is no exception. They have some outstanding players again this year. I mentioned Maura Kirby with 88 kills. Is that a lot of kills in 16 games, or?
It is a lot of kills, but the problem is the competition varies so much. She may only get 5 or 6 attempts in this entire match, where if she played, when they played 100 in Central, she probably had about 30 attempts.
So she had a lot more opportunity to throw it away.
Exactly.
And I see where Nadia Aldachin, is that correct?
Aldachin,
excuse me. We'll remember that. Thank you, Scott. 271 assists.
Which really is like the point guard in basketball. She makes the decision on who will attack the ball. And whenever a player makes a kill, she gets credited with an assist.
Now Michelle Anderson back to serving when time is back in. Play begins on the whistle of the official. That was out of bounds by J.P. Stevens. East Brunswick up 6-0 at this point, with Michelle Anderson still serving. As Coach said, nice line drive serve.
Yeah. Double contact for J.P. Stevens.
You want to explain that just a little bit, Coach?
Chrissy Morrison is the setter, and she'll try to touch the ball every time on the second contact, and her hands have to hit the ball simultaneously and cleanly. She can't bobble it at all. Free ball opportunity for East Brunswick, and Nadia Aldachin touches the bottom of the net when she attempts to play that ball. So our first side out opportunity.
So the players cannot touch the net at any time?
At any time, except their hair, believe it or not.
Their hair is okay. In play.
Yes.
Okay. We have Chelsea McCauley serving for Stevens. Over.
All right, here's a free ball to J.P. Stevens here. Let's see if they get a good attack. Nope, another free ball.
All right, we're going to set up Demora and see what.
Nice dig.
East Brunswick.
Okay, the call on that one is
under the net. Is that she stepped over the line, that white line in the middle, the mid-court line?
That white line, the players can touch it, they just can't cross it totally, and a player on J.P. Stevens crossed it completely.
Okay, East Brunswick serving. That's Amanda Caffon.
Here's an attack for J.P. and a nice pass from Michelle Anderson, who sets outside to Lauren Corrado with a nice attempt, but out of bounds.
I guess we can pick that up on television. Yellow lines are the lines on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
The court is obviously marked for basketball as well, so the yellow lines are the official lines for volleyball.
Substitution, number 11, Christina Fasca, comes in for number 16, Chrissy Morrison for J.P.
All right.
Maura Kirby
with the kill. Off of number 11, Christine Fresca for Stevens. 7-0 East Brunswick.
Now the JP coach was just looking for some good ball control here.
Right.
So let's see how they do.
Lauren serving.
That's a tough serve.
That's a tough serve.
Yeah.
Now, what do you try to do with the serve? You try to get it as close to that net as you can, or?
Yeah, in fact, I don't know if the viewers at home can see, but when the ball passes over the net, it should be as close to the net as possible.
Whoa.
And
another one.
And fairly deep. And the deeper it goes and the closer to the net, the more difficult it is to judge the trajectory.
Now, that ball would have been out if Chelsea Macaulay hadn't touched that for Stevens, but it's a point for East Brunswick. The Bears leading 9-0.
Lauren's been doing this since she's been a sophomore. Another point for East Brunswick.
We're 10 games are to 15. We should mention.
Games are to 15. Win by 2, and J.P. Stevens calls a timeout.
Another timeout. You want to mention something about the officials? We have 2 officials. I remember going to the state tournament up in the RAC when you guys won, and then of course when Greg Rutz's team won last year. How do the officials work this game?
These guys look fairly familiar. They're actually 2 of the best officials in New Jersey. They work it on 2 different areas. The up referee will set the tempo of the game, the pace of the game.
The gentleman in the chair.
Yeah, the gentleman up top. And he will blow most of the whistles to end the play and signal the play. The down official will look for certain things like crossing the center line, players into the net, and helping with all ball control calls, where he will not blow the whistle, but he'll help the up ref make the call. And the down ref will also help with substitutions. And as the Bears take the court, just real quick on our 2 officials, the up referee today, Joe Cuddy, has been doing this for 30+ years. 25 years he's been refereeing Division I girls volleyball, and he was certified as a national referee in 1974.
He's put his time in.
He's put his time in.
Lauren Corrado again on the serve. Does touch the ceiling, but it's in play, to remind you again. Nice dig that time by
All right, here's
Michelle
an attempt.
Anderson.
There's a nice attack for JP.
Set.
Oh, nice up. Oh. That was number 10, Chelsea Macaulay, getting a nice one-handed up.
Hand out there. All right, we're back to serving again. The Bears ahead 11-0. Lauren Corrado again on the serve. Ooh.
Yeah, tough serve.
She seemed to let that ball get to her body, and of course, once it gets in there, it's pretty difficult to handle, I would think.
One of the pieces on the serve too is that if it doesn't spin, it makes it very difficult to judge, just like a knuckleball in baseball, and it's called a float serve. And there's a back set to Maura Kirby, who makes a tip out of bounds, and we have another side out for JP.
Side out for JP Stevens with the score 12-0. Stevens will take over serving. Number 17, Rachel Seaton. Serve is out.
Good talk from East Brunswick. You can even hear it from here.
You might also see on the camera 2 students that are standing. They're not in uniform, and their job is to call the out of bounds.
Yes, they're to help the referees call close plays out of bounds.
Of course, in the state tournament, they have Dallas Burns hits that into the net.
Yeah.
What is the situation there? I mean, you want to get as close to that net as you can, or is that?
Well, what you want to do is if the set's too close, you want to go up and get it, because once it drops below the height of the net, you're not going to hit it over.
Not going to hit it
like
over.
On that play right there. Ooh, that's a good try from Nadia Aldasheen off Liz Ressler. By the way, we have Liz Ressler in the game, number 17, and Deborah Wall also was in the game for a short time, number 13.
Okay. We have number 2
nice
serving. Maura Kirby again.
That was one of those illegal contacts for JP.
Okay. Ball goes over to the Bears with the score 12-1 in favor of East Brunswick. We have Nadia.
Nice hustle, number 3. Good try out there for JP.
Okay, Nadia goes back to serving.
Well, something that the J.P. Stevens coach told me was that this team is so fun to coach because they're great sports, and they're really a group together. They root for each other genuinely, and they're all backing each other 100%. The only problem is the physical play isn't where it needs to be.
Ball's over the net. Kirby.
Amanda Cafone into the net. That was one of those plays where a tight set, you want to go up and get it as soon as you can to keep it from lowering.
Below that net.
Exactly.
Once it goes below the net, you got a problem.
That's a nice serve.
All right.
And a nice pass. Nice play
That
by
was
Dallas Burns.
Yeah, that was nice.
What she did that was real smart on that one was she went up to attack it really strong, but the set wasn't really where she needed it, so she just put it in play.
Just put it in play. And
oh, boy.
Oh, that's trouble.
Nice save from JP.
Save. Up. Oh, a little bit long.
Hey, they earned that one, just stopping that serve.
That was Liz Ressler, just a little bit strong, but they did. Stevens seemed to pull together there, and substitution for JP Stevens. Number 9, and I don't have a 9 on my roster.
Liz Sokovic just came into the game.
Okay.
And she's back to serve, replacing number 1, Christine Pham.
Okay.
Oh, that's a nice pace from Maura Kirby. Woo!
Number 6.
Yeah, she's a big jumper for her size.
Amanda gets up there, doesn't
yes,
she?
she does. And
I mean,
Michelle,
she doesn't look like she's maybe, what, 5? I don't want to.
5 may do it, Mr. King. 5 may do it.
But she's 5'2" or 5'3", but she got up on the top there.
And she's clearly one of the fastest girls out here. Ever since she's a freshman, she's been faster than most of the girls on the team.
Michelle Anderson back to the serve.
Nice pass from Dallas Burns outside to Lauren Corrado, and that's a nice up from JP. They can play it if it comes down. And it doesn't come down.
It's not going to come down up there.
And that should be a replay. Let's see how my memory. Yes. When the referees put both thumbs in the air, it is an official replay. They just do it over. One of the more fun things in volleyball.
That's what you used to do, go up and get them after the game.
Yeah,
right?
if I can only jump that high.
Yeah, right. Okay. We got Michelle Anderson serving again with the score East Brunswick 13-1. The player has to wait for the official's whistle before the ball's in play. They can begin play. All right.
Double contact. For number 16.
Meaning that the ball must strike your hand simultaneously.
Correct. And it also cannot come to a rest in your hand, and it cannot come out like you're shooting a basketball. It's got almost like a trampoline, in and out.
So you teach them to use the fingers and certainly not down on the palms.
You got it. That's exactly right.
Okay. We got to get this over. That's the third hit. Stevens just given us a Maura Kirby. Might have been out, but that's going to be a point for the Bears.
Good hustle from JP, but that ends the game at 15-1 for the Bears.
15-1 for the Bears. The first game is in the books, with East Brunswick being victorious. As you can see, it's interesting in volleyball. If you've never watched a match, an official match, I guess people may be familiar with beach volleyball and not necessarily with interscholastic volleyball. The teams switch seats. So if you were at a basketball game and the home team took the visitor's spot, you'd wonder what was going on. But that's a normal course of events in volleyball. I like to go to Florida State football, and the women's collegiate teams volleyball compete in the fall as well. And quite often on a Friday evening, they'll be at home when there's a football game, and we get the opportunity to go see them. Some fantastic athletes play volleyball.
Yeah. It's almost a different game from this, and it starts looking like the net is too low for those college girls. They really bang away. They make some great digs, and they really do a lot of jump serving too. And they're a big block. It's just amazing that the net is so short considering how big the girls are. But it's a very high level of play. Fun to watch.
It just seemed to me that they were, with the exception of one or two girls that kind of controlled things, they were the setters, if you will. The rest of the team was, I don't think anybody was under 5'11".
Yeah.
They were anywhere from 6'5" to 5'10", maybe was the smallest one of the of the players, with the exception of one. I remember one little girl, for little, she was probably about 5'8" or something. And I mean, she was all over the floor directing the whole operation. And I mean, that's what you need as a team leader.
Well, it's like your football quarterback is exactly what it's like.
You got point guard in basketball, as you said before. That is a very important role. I think that one of the things I've been the most impressed with East Brunswick volleyball, both the boys and the girls, is that we have been blessed with very talented, but I would have to say the leadership ability of some of our athletes has been outstanding. And usually you look for that leader. Who's going to be the leader? Who's the leader on this squad that fills that capacity?
The leader on this team is number 9, Nadia Aldasheen. And just taking a look at what they're doing out there, this is just why it's so fun to coach a team like this. They're smiling out there. They have a good time. They listen to each other. And the thing with, and I could just say it for East Brunswick because I've only known that program for 9 years. It's not only that the leadership is there, it's that it's good leadership, positive, always good sportsmanship, good role modeling. And I think that comes down from just the general athletics in this town. The kids are good sports and good leaders, and that's a good balance to have, especially at this age when kids can really take a lot of what their friends say seriously and personally.
And I think that's one of the great things with volleyball, and I've noticed the same thing, and that's why anytime I've gone to a volleyball match, I mean, it's just been such a positive experience because win or lose, the kids just play hard and are highly supportive of each other. It's just, that was Lauren Corrado on the spike there for the East Brunswick will get the serve back. Actually, the beginning of the second match, the Bears lead off with Amanda Cafone serving for East Brunswick. Another nice low serve, just over the net. That's a point for East Brunswick. Again, that was number 10, Chelsea McCauley. It seems that Stevens just trying to pop it up in the air and doesn't have a purpose for, I mean, they're trying to get it over the net instead of trying to score or take the ball.
The problem with what I'm seeing out there from the girls right now, and whoa, if you're taking a look at your TV screen, we see a lot of substitution now for East Brunswick. Let's see if I can go through this. We have Lauren Schaefer,
13.
We have
25, Deborah Wall. We have number 4, Lisa Nelson. Number 2, Shanona Horvath. And did I miss somebody?
No, this is it. Now, what we're looking at here now is everyone on that court except for Dallas Burns and Moore Kirby is a junior. So this is pretty much next year's varsity team out there for the Bears.
And this is junior number 25, Deborah Wall, serving for the Bears. Left-handed serve.
And another powerful serve.
Nice on the line. Misplayed a little bit there by Chrissy Morrison, number 16 for J.P. Stevens, and the Bears lead 3-0. And another serve for the Bears.
Yeah, too tough.
Too tough on the line. One for the arm of number 2, Chun Lai for J.P. Stevens. That's 4-0. I was just going to indicate, Scott, that a match consists of the best 2 out of 3. So if the Bears win this contest, which they're up 4-0 at the present time, another serve. Stevens gets it over. Set.
We have a new setter in the game for East Brunswick.
Lisa Nelson, And Maura Kirby gets to put another one in the record books.
Something I think that you don't think about when you're a new program like JP, but when they practice, they don't see these kinds of serves. They don't see the kind of attempts that East Brunswick is making on offense. So it's very hard to prepare yourself for a game when you don't have that competition in practice.
Uneven hit. That's what the signal is from the official. What's the one up on the 1 minute on the clock?
That's for timeout, so it's ready. When there's a timeout, they'll have 1 minute.
1 minute timeouts. Okay.
Oh, that's good hustle. Good try from JP.
Lucky somebody didn't get injured there. 6-0, the Bears. With Deborah Wall still serving. The server continues to serve as long as East Brunswick controls the point.
Here's an attempt. Just out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
I would have liked to seen 17 go up with one hand. In fact, that's where their coach Savilich just talked about, was go up with one hand, try not to bump it over when you get a good attempt.
Yeah, that was Rachel Seaton for the Hawks.
Oh, the Bears ready for that one. That came over real quick. Big attempt and a kill for Shauna Horvath. Nice job.
Shauna Horvath, very nice.
And now another setter coming in, number 16, Jackie Bonk, to replace Lisa Nelson.
Jackie Bonk. Now that's a cross-country track name in East Brunswick.
I don't know, but I love saying that last name.
Yeah. I remember that name.
Free ball here.
Free ball.
Not such a good free ball pass. That's good talk right there from the Bears. Only one person going for it. Kirby finds the tape and finds the floor.
I guess if you hit it hard enough, it'll roll over.
Especially if you have that topspin.
Yeah.
Number 1, Christine Pham coming in to replace number 9, Liz Sukovich.
Okay, and the Bears lead 10-0. So we're about see what happens here.
They need to talk a little
Kirby
bit there.
again.
Oh, that's a nice up
up
for number 11. Who is number 11? Christina Fasca. That's a job well done.
Right.
And another one-handed save for her.
Out of bounds. Okay. So they stemmed the tide at stopped the Bears' onslaught there at 10. And number 10, Chelsea McCauley, will serve for J.P. Stevens. 0-10.
I'd like to see JP getting a little bit more excited on everything they do well. They have to remember that they're playing a team that really hasn't lost more than 5 games in every season for the last 9 years. So they need to put things in perspective. Nice play, Mark Kirby.
Nice. Well, that's certainly not a kill, but
it is actually considered a kill.
Is it?
Whenever you have an overhand attack, whether it's soft or hard, if it ends the play, it's considered a kill.
Shauna Horvath serving for the Bears off the side of her hand.
Another substitution coming for JP.
Number 3, Danielle Isacaro. And Danielle is going to serve for JP, trying to get on the scoreboard. Now you see the Bears serving overhand, and a lot of the girls from Stevens trying to serve underhand. That's the way I used to serve underhand, I think.
It's a good way to start when you're a beginner, to keep the ball in play, just so you could have a successful game.
Right.
But at the varsity level, it's just really like tossing it over the net.
Right. Maura Kirby serving.
Oh, it's off the ceiling.
It's almost in the basket up there. Another point for East Brunswick, 11-0.
Now Maura has a good serve. Let's see if she takes some off of it here. Ooh, that's a tough serve.
Another nice serve.
Yeah.
Out of bounds. Point for East Brunswick, 12-0.
And this is East Brunswick's varsity team next year out there. They're all juniors. Actually, no, Maura Kirby is a senior as well.
I'm sure Coach Rutz would like her to be a junior, but
that's a nice set and a nice outside attack with a good dig by number 16. This is the best rally of the match so far.
That was Chrissy Morrison, 16 for Stevens.
I'd like
Get
to
it
see,
over.
I'd like to see JP. That's a job well done for JP Stevens.
JP Stevens gets the serve back with the score 0-12 in favor of the Bears.
Let's see if that can get them going a little bit. They got some success.
You're rooting for him, Coach.
I'd like to see him do
well.
I
would. I'd like to see him score. I mean, you know, that's a nice serve.
Nice attempt. Oh, that's a nice up from number 1. And you can see it's just like outside hitting lines for East Brunswick.
Michelle Anderson over.
See, it's just free ball after free ball.
Yeah, yeah. Michelle Anderson again getting it over for the Bears.
Well, here's that good ball control that coach from JP was looking for. Just keep the ball in play.
Okay.
Illegal contact.
Illegal contact. 2 hits. But that was probably the best. Stevens seemed to relax a little bit and get into the play.
And you like to see that. I'd like to see him get a little bit more excited when they do well and not worry about the score.
Right. Jackie Bonk serving for the Bears.
Nice pass from Shauna. Oh, that's a nice play right there.
By
good dig from JP. That's trouble. And that lands in.
Yeah.
Who's going back to serve
now? Going back to serve number 2 for, that's Chun Lau for JP Stevens. Nice serve. kind of a pushover for Lauren Schaefer.
Yes, very good, very good.
Well,
it wasn't something that she could really do much with, so instead of making a...
I mean, that's all a matter of timing, right? Coach getting up to get that ball at its highest apex. And
seeing the ball and not anticipating it being a perfect set. Just no matter where it is, go get it.
That's East Brunswick 13, JP Stevens 0. Michelle Anderson again to serve. Another good serve on the line.
Nice serve.
Not handled well. Unable to handle the ball, JP Stevens. We're 1 point away from timeout, JP Stevens.
And a little timeout here at the end. I'm curious to see what Coach Savalich is going to talk to her kids about. I'm sure Coach Rutz is talking about the same thing. When you get a free ball, let's look really, really tight. One girl going for it, good pass to the setter, and make a good settable ball. Right now he's talking about tipping the ball. That's why his hand's doing that.
Right. It's pretty tough if you're up 14 to nothing and you've just won the first game 15 to 1 or whatever. It's kind of hard to get the kids up for it, I would think.
Well, I'd like to say that.
But our girls have really I think done an excellent job today and been very positive throughout. And, once again, good sportsmen as well. I mean,
clearly evident out there. There's no taunting or anything.
You know, that's it. That's we finish it off with Lauren Schaefer on a kill, and the Bears win the second game 15 to nothing.
They go to 13-4 on the season.
13-4 on the season for the Bears. Up next for the Bears will be on the 9th, which is Wednesday, I guess, against Voorhees, and then on the 13th Eastern at 2:30. That's the 13th is a Saturday, and then the 15th Old Bridge. That's senior night here at 5 o'clock on the 15th. So that's a week from today, the 15th of October against Old Bridge. And I know Coach Rutz is
revenge.
He'll have him fired up for that, because when I said, well, you know, it was 12-4, now 13-4, obviously. I said, what was I mean, who did you lose to? He said, well, Hunter and Central is pretty good. He didn't want to mention that Old Bridge word, but
gotta mention it.
Over there in Old Bridge, and Old Bridge did beat the Bears, and so
they've always seemed to bite the Bears on 1 or 2 games during either the girls or the boys. They've always put up a good fight every year.
Yeah, they do, and so I remind everybody that if you're going to come out and see a match, a volleyball match right here at the high school, next Monday night would be the time to do that. And it's senior night against Old Bridge, and that's 5 o'clock right here. Our telecast, this game will be on Channel 3 several times this week, so you can kind of watch a little volleyball, get fired up, get up here around the wouldn't it be great if on the next Monday, if we had, instead of 50 people over here, we had a couple of 100 people cheering.
That's right.
The last volleyball game before this one that I attended was last year's state semifinals and the finals, which we won, and there probably were 1,000 people up in the barn, up on College Avenue in Rutgers. And every time somebody touched the ball, there was excitement and great enthusiasm, and as you've indicated, great sportsmanship on the part of both teams. And certainly we saw that here today with JP Stevens and the Bears coming out on top, clearly dominating the play. But it takes time. You know, this once again is JP Stevens' first year with volleyball, and I'm sure that they will improve. But we have been blessed here at East Brunswick, and I repeat that often and as often as somebody will listen to me. We've had some outstanding coaches. Of course, the gentleman sitting next to me,
thank you.
One of the best in the state, if not the best, and we certainly miss him around here. But I don't know how should I put that?
My predecessor has had a much higher winning percentage than I did in my first couple of years of coaching. I can tell you that.
And Greg Rutz has done a great job. He's a class guy, and you can tell that by the performance of his team, and just the respect that they have for him, and and for the entire, and for each other, which is very, very important. We're going to wrap it up. You have a closing 1 second thought or a 10-second thought?
Mr. King, it's always great to be back in Bear Country, and I miss it terribly, and I wish all the Bears good luck, and I will see you again.
You're welcome back here anytime, and hopefully permanently someday. Thank you very much for watching. This is EB Channel 3 in East Brunswick. Again, great to be here at East Brunswick High School. Thank you.